Hey guys, welcome to another ServerMiner plugin tutorial. I'm your host LTGM007 and today we're looking at the Redstone Proximity Sensor. Now this is a fantastic plugin which allows you to set what triggers a redstone torch, whether it's a mob, an entity, or a projectile, or something else. So let's go ahead and go over to this chest which has some redstone torches in, and what we're going to do is craft our own sensor. So the way you do that is 3 redstone torches in a column like so, and that will give us the sensor. So once you have this, you can pop it down anywhere and then right click. This will give you all of the different options that you can use to change it. So let's go ahead and look at these examples that I've made over here, 4 different examples with different triggers. The first one is an entity trigger, specifically a peaceful entity. So zombies will not affect this, but cows, chickens, pigs, all of that good stuff will. So if I pop down a cow over here, it's too far away, it will not work, but if I put it nearby, you will see that it goes on and then the light turns on. Easy as that. The next one is a dropped item. This is very straightforward. If you drop an item nearby and leave it alone, it will stay on until the item either despawns or is picked up, like thus. The next one is a pretty cool one. It's a projectile. So if I pick up a bow and arrow and shoot the arrow past it, it will go on briefly. But if I shoot the arrow into the green block, it will stay on permanently until the arrow is picked up, and then it will go off again. Finally, we have my favorite one, which is the vehicle trigger. So if I go in here and pick up a minecart and put it on the track, when it gets close enough to this, it will trigger it and it will go on until it leaves again, and then it will go off. So that's how you could use it in your server. It's a really cool plugin. Let's go ahead and look at this and see how we can actually customize it. So let me get rid of all this. If we right click, the first one is the Invert Power. So do we want it to be on by default or off by default, which is very useful. Then we have the range in blocks. So depending on how far away you want things, you can change this. Right click to decrease and left click to increase. So you can just change it to whatever number you want. The next one is whether you want the owner to be able to edit it. So if you had a friend, you could allow him to edit it as well, but be careful because other people could change it as well. Then we have the triggers. So there is quite a few here. There is 8 in total. So there's the owner trigger, and this one is on by default. So if I step away, it will go off, but if I get closer, it will go on. Simple as that. And then we have the player entity trigger, so other players. Then we have the hostile entities, which is zombies, spiders, that sort of thing, creepers. Peaceful entities, so cows and pigs. Dropped items, which I showcased. Invisible entities. Projectile trigger. And finally the vehicle trigger, my favorite. Now what you can do, you can copy the settings from another one, such as the vehicle one. So if we right click this and click copy, we can paste it into another torch, which is really awesome. So if we paste it in here, it will go off. And if we look at the settings, it is selected vehicle only, which is fantastic. Now there is a couple commands with this plugin. You can obviously do RPS reload to reload the config file, and you can give a player a particular RPS. So let's go ahead and give myself a torch, and there we go. So we've given ourselves a redstone proximity sensor. If you don't want to craft it, it's very easy to craft. So that is how you use it in-game. It's really awesome. We are going to have a brief look at the config file. So here we are in the RPS folder, and as you can see there are 3 YML files. The bottom one saves all the information about all the sensors that you've created in your world. Then we have the language folder, which has all of the text you will see in-game. And then we have the config file. So in here you can set the max range, the default range, and all of the default triggers. So by default, the owner trigger and player entity trigger are on, but you could obviously turn them off if you wanted to. And you can also get rid of particles up here. But that is it for the config file. It's pretty small. There isn't too much in there that you can change, but this plugin is absolutely fantastic. It works fantastically and is really awesome and will be a great addition to your server. So if you want a server, check out ServerMiner.com for the best and cheapest deals around. If you want to download the plugin, link in the description, as well as my channel. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you next week.